Afternoon. How's it going?
Coach, what did you like about practice today?
Oh, we're learning a lot mentally from situational football. It's hard to go out of pads and be as physical, obviously because of all the rules, but mentally I think we're learning something, so I like that part about it.
Todd, last week Baker Mayfield said that Russell Gage got injured prior to last week's OTAs. Can you talk about it? Is that a severe injury or just a minor injury?
We don't talk about injuries in OTAs.
Coach, do you feel like there's good cohesion, gelling of the players and everything at this point?
After 3 days of practice, it's coming along. It's a lot of information and giving and taking. A lot of guys installing things on both sides of the ball, but it's coming together.
Todd, how do you evaluate the quarterbacks during this period of time and maybe the severity of how you're analyzing them and whatnot?
We can analyze them through everything, obviously, from meetings to field to obviously the competition from a throwing standpoint to grasping the offense, making the right throws, just understanding it overall. And, it comes down to making plays at the end and who has a better command of the offense.
Can you talk about your young safeties, Merriweather and Eisen, what you've seen from them so far between rookie minicamp and what they've been able to do with the OTAs so far?
On film, what we liked about them, they're both very physical players. They're very good open field tacklers. We like that about them. The mental part, they're getting down. Obviously, both guys learning two different positions. Izzy and learning strong and nickel, and Merriweather learning both safety spots, so it's a little bit much, but I like their study habits. I like the way they communicate on the field, and I think they're getting it.
Todd, what's the biggest challenge when you were talking about the quarterbacks? You're always analyzing everything, and I know obviously in the league, everything's always a competition, really, no matter who you have. From a coaching side of things, how do you handle that I mean, it's when you talk about it's just more to analyze, right? As opposed to like if you just know this is your one guy. So your side of things, like what does that do in terms of I don't know if workload is the right way to phrase it, but when you're having to sort of like parse through that as opposed to the other way when you just know who your guy is.
Well, it's a little different because, you don't hit the quarterbacks in obviously OTAs, nor do you hit them in mini camps or even training camp until they play games. So you really don't know who's what under pressure. From an analyzing standpoint, again, it's the grasp of the offense, it's the reading of the defense. It's not necessarily making the big play, but the right play. And then it comes down to moxie, and it comes down to intelligence, in-game intelligence and adjustments and fits and film work. And you can see who the team galvanizes around and who's ready to play the first game. And you kind of make a decision from there. But it's constant analyzation, whether it's small or whether it's big. It's constant analysis from now up until we name a starter.
We're only here on Tuesdays and we've seen Baker take the first reps. You alternate those, the other OTAs?
Yeah, we switch them up all the time. That doesn't mean anything. Kyle is taking them and Baker's taking them.
In terms of like just the offense, there's a lot of movement in Dave's offense from a quarterback standpoint. You'll see some of the bootlegs, some of the Lagos guys are throwing sort of rhythm throws. How has Kyle adapted to that, seeing that he's not traditionally thought of as necessarily a quarterback that's on the move?
I mean, he ran some in college. Kyle's a better runner than you think. He's not as quick as some of the quarterbacks that are out today, but he runs good enough to make plays when he has to. He's adjusted fine.
What has stood out to you the most is the second week? You guys now they're in the fourth day.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
What has stood out to you the second week the most? These guys now are in the fourth day.
Really just a recall of the information they're learning from last week after having 4 days off to come back and still be sharp mentally as well as learn new things. The information everybody's grasping, especially the younger guys coming in, I think has been good.
In the past, for some of the young guys that are free agents, that are rookies this year, it's always been special teams. They had to shine on special teams to make the club. Is that getting harder now with the way the rules have changed, especially with on the kickoff now?
No, you still got to make special teams to make this club. If you're not a starter and you have a helmet on game day, minus the backup quarterback and maybe a backup offensive lineman, you should be touching the field at some point, whether it's kickoff return, punt return, or kickoff. You should be on special teams in some way, shape, or form, or you really probably shouldn't have a helmet.
Is it tougher to stand out, though? I mean, with those opportunities not being there on kickoff?
There'll be some in preseason. There'll be some in preseason. It's not as much, but you want to see the speed and the tenacity, and you'll get a feel for them, and you try to keep it that way.
We saw the first 2 years with Brady. Mike Kevin scored 27 touchdowns those first 2 years combined. And then last year, he went 11 weeks without reaching the end zone. How frustrating was that for you as a head coach? And what can you do about getting him back as a red zone threat?
And we got to make that a priority, obviously. I think we made it a priority last year. Sometimes it was shut down. Sometimes we just misread it here and there, whether it was on the receiver, the line, or the old lineman. We got to get better in that area and getting him the football. We know he's a threat, and we know he's a great player. So we got to constantly find ways, not just him, but Chris as well. So we got to find ways to get those guys the ball.
Tate Otten mentioned last week that Kyle's throwing the ball maybe with more conviction than he saw last year. Is there something that allows Kyle mentally to switch into a different gear, knowing that this season he has the opportunity to find playing time versus maybe last year where in the back of your head, I'm a backup and I'm behind not only Tom but Blaine and so on and so forth?
Well, he's getting the reps. When you get more reps, you get more confidence, obviously, and rightfully so. With Tom there last year and Blaine there, he didn't get the reps he should get. He's getting a lot of reps right now, so it's really his indoctrination of his rookie year, getting all the reps he's getting. And as he gets those reps, he gets more confidence, so he's happy to be playing.
Charles Snowden was the guy you guys picked up, I think, around midseason, put him on the practice squad. This is really his first time to be in the Bucs defense, really, and kind of, understand that rather than playing, scout team stuff. What have you seen from him? What kind of skill set does he bring to you guys at outside linebacker?
He's got the perfect height, length, and size to play the outside backer spot. He's a very smart player. Out of pads, you still don't get to see much, but he understands his assignments, and I'll be eager to see him in pads.
How much are you staying in contact with Ryan Jensen? I know we haven't obviously seen him out here, but going through that incredible injury that he had last year, how's he doing?
We have a good feel for where Ryan is. We understand where he is right now. He's doing pretty good.
Todd, what does it mean to have Vita out here, obviously, working with Elijah and some of the new pieces you have there on the defensive line?
No, it's big. They got to develop some camaraderie. Obviously, you got speed and power, and you got a power guy, so it'll be different for them learning each other. But to have him out here and those guys learning from him is great.
Todd, if Kancey lives up to his reputation as a disruptor and getting into backfields, what impact could that have both on the pass rush and the run defense?
We could have a huge impact. You get more tackle for losses, which means you get less runs, you get more passes. So we're trying to play on the other side of the ball more. In the past, we've been bigger and heavier and stouter, and now we have some stoutness and we have some explosion up there. So if those things can happen, it frees up everybody else.
Not having Levante and Devin and even KJ Brett here today, does it just really accelerate the learning curve with Sabasier Dennis getting more reps, more opportunities to get in there with your first and second string defense?
Well, it's great reps for the young guys. Really, we're trying to get everybody caught up so when training camp starts, everybody's on equal footing and have a chance to make this team. So they're getting invaluable reps right now between Sabasier and Banks and Gilbert and all those guys and UConn. They're getting tons of reps right now, which will put them ahead of the curve once training camp starts.
You've had a chance to see Chase block and kick a few times. You talked about his leg. What is it like in person from the strength standpoint?
It's a very strong leg, very strong leg. He's been accurate out here. It'd be interesting to see when the wind starts blowing since he's been in the dome, but he's been very impressive so far.